The purpose of this video is for me to show you what I believe is the world's first standards-based expert system for creating financial reports. I could be wrong about that, but if you're aware of one, let me know. I'd love to see it. And again, I'm just looking at some rudimentary artificial intelligence at this point. The foundation has been set, and things should go way more rapidly now. But let me show you how it could be creating an XBRL report. So I'm gonna use my proof as the basis for the report. So the taxonomy has already been created. What I'm going to do is exercise the creation of the report. So I'm going to go and select. I could use any of these reporting schemes, base reporting schemes, but I'm going to use this proof of the Seattle method. What it does is it exercises the application. It does basically all the hard stuff. I'm going to grab, so this shows you the different information patterns that are in the proof. I'm going to select this balance sheet as opposed to this one, this income statement as opposed to this one, statement of comprehensive income, cash flows, prior period adjustment. There are two alternatives: changes in equity, policies, variance, segments, stock plan activity, and financial highlights. So what this does, it pulls in the most complex examples. I'm going to do this in euros, so that it tests the software to make sure that it is working correctly. And I have the right item selected. I'm going to load those items, and I now have a valid report. I'm going to generate the report. Let's see, I'm going to use that style sheet. And there's a report. So it's got all zeros, but this is just, it added pro forma facts so that I can then go back in and edit the facts. And this report is 100% valid. I have to make one adjustment here. I've got one little idiosyncrasy that I have to overcome. And I'm now validating that report to make sure that it's valid XBRL syntax and the logic of everything is correct. Now, granted, the values are all zero, but when I put numbers in, you'll see that the application actually checks to make sure that everything is copacetic. So it should be done validating here in just a second. And there we go. And we have a completely valid report. I can go and show you the report, but I'm going to do that after I get done putting the values in. So now I'm going to go back to this view mode, and I'm going to start entering information into the report. You can see that report is checking to make sure that all the math is correct in the report. You can't make a mathematical error, or if you do, you'll be notified that there is a math error in your report. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at a sample report that I created, and I'm just typing in numbers so that I can test to see if the report's working correctly. So now you notice that all these are now green, and I'm just going to enter zeros for the beginning balance, and then everything turns green. So there seems to be a little flaw. This should be outlined, but if I press this recalculate button, it will show the correct information. So I got the balance sheet done. Now I'm going to do the income statement. So again, notice that it's checking the math. There's a little something to be aware of here. So you notice I'm entering the values all as positive, because typically you enter facts as positive, but then when you view the report, which I can do here, it makes things that you want to see as negatives negative, but you enter the facts as positive. So again, we did the income statement. So now I'm going to go to the comprehensive income. And in this case, I have no other comprehensive income. You notice that it pulled over the value for net income, which was on the other statement. So I'm saying that the comprehensive income is the same as net income. So we have not implemented the fundamental accounting concepts in this yet. Eventually, we'll be able to derive that fact value by simply entering this value and knowing that there is no other comprehensive income. Now we're going to do the cash flows. So again, you notice that it pulled the value from the balance sheet, and I'm going to enter the value for cash flows, and it automatically pulls in the value of net cash flow, moves it from here to here, and then the cash flow puts prior period adjustments. I just need to add a prior period adjustment. That'll work. So now that adds up. Changes in equity. This needs to be, and this needs to be, and that should add up. And now I go into policies. So I'm just entering in some text. This is basically an HTML editor. You can enter up any HTML. So I entered text blocks. So that is correct. And there's nothing to verify in terms of math because there's no mathematical relations. So then here, I need to add these numbers. And this is a negative. And that should add up, and it does. So this and that should add up. And notice how both of these changed when I entered the last number. The math is being checked going down, and across. So crosscast and the footing is checked. This is the view. There's my euros. There's the report. Then I'm going to do the segment information. So notice this. This is another indicator of the errors. It's going to disappear in a second here. Or it'll turn green. Eventually, when all the numbers are added. So here I'm just going to show that I can edit these by just changing the fact. So it may seem monotonous adding all these things, and so there's no mathematical checks. You don't see any of those green check marks. These do not actually add up. This is a roll forward info. This is per share information. This does not add up. It's not supposed to add up. So, and these, okay, and then I think that you'll see that this, there you go. This is now green on the little bell on the lower left-hand side because the numbers are all correct. So as I was saying, this may seem a little monotonous adding all this information in, and it is, but the point is that A, you can do it. B, these mathematical checks that are done whether the information is entered manually or whether it is provided via an API interface to get the information into the report, or if you import information using an Excel spreadsheet, the checks are still being done. So now here I can, let's do a different report, different color this time. Here's the report and the values that I entered. So that shows that you're editing the report. So I'm now going to verify the report. It's this reporting scheme. And I'm going to, again, change this because of my one little idiosyncrasy in the report. And I can validate that. And I should have a perfectly valid report. You'll notice that I'm basically not editing the report model at this point. So there's the verification. I can go here and look at the technical analysis. So for example, here's the income statement. It shows that things add up. I'm not going to go into all the details of this, but just know that everything is verified to make sure that it's correct, including the XBRL syntax. And the report has been uploaded to the internet. I mean, this is a cloud-based application. It's always on the internet. Let's see. There's the report. This is the URL the report is at. Clearly, you wouldn't make financial reports publicly available until they're released. Security is not a point. I mean, security is a well understood thing. What I'm trying to show you is that this, I believe, is the first standards-based expert system for creating a financial report, and I will stop there.